Hello and welcome to this client spotlight with the fabulous Kayla Fujimoto Epperson, who is one of our amazing members of the Be the Boss of Your Career Level 2 program and also went through the Level 1 program. Hold on, gotta fix the sound. And is also one of our associate coaches here. So welcome, Kayla. I'm so glad you're here today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit, I introduced you a little bit, obviously, about how you've gotten connected with me, but tell us a little bit about you, what you do, where you're from, all that good stuff.
Yep. I am in the Chicago suburbs where I have my own physical therapy practice called the Athlete Connection, which I started in June of 2020, right after taking the Be the Boss of Your Career Level 1 course. And I love working with youth and teen athletes there, especially overhead athletes like baseball and tennis. I was a college tennis player and had many injuries during my tennis career. And so that's what I'm really passionate about, is working with those athletes and also providing them with the injury prevention support too.
That's awesome. Obviously, it sounds very personal in a way because this is a reflection of your background and your life and your own injuries you went through. How would you say fulfilling it is to be able to give back?
It's amazing. I think like a lot of us go into business, it seems like the trend is to help like a former version of ourselves. And I totally feel that. And when I see a 12-year-old tennis player come to see me who's had, chronic pain or issues and not finding the best support and struggling for a long time with it, I see me and I see my parents and how that whole experience unfolded for us. And I just love that I can kind of help change that narrative or experience for other people who are struggling through, navigating the injury space with sports.
I love the part about you see your own parents. Obviously, you see yourself. And I love the part about seeing your own parents and changing the narrative. That's such a great phrase, in terms of helping people remodel their story or reimagine what could happen for them. That's amazing. So good job. Way to do wonderful things for the youth athletes of the world. That's obviously really close to my heart as well. All right. So you started your business in June 2020. Give us the details. So what would you say in June 2020 was, if you could boil it down to one thing, what was the number one thing that you found challenging or like a struggle when you started?
Honestly, just getting started. Like I never knew I wanted to be a business owner and not really knowing where to start, like from the legal aspects, from opening, from, everything that goes into like being able to see that first patient. That was where I was really hung up.
Okay, so all the little mechanical details on getting started. So how did that show up in terms of it hanging you up?
Yeah, I think there was definitely some fear and overwhelm.
Makes sense, for sure.
And I was also like not knowing who to ask for support.
Awesome. So what types of things, okay, so who did you ask? Like what types of things did you do to overcome the fear, the overwhelm, to get those mechanical things in place?
I really think level 1 helped me a lot with the mindset of, putting life first and work second. And I could really choose like how I wanted to run the business rather than getting overwhelmed by how business is generally taught out there in the world.
Yeah.
Yes. And that helped me a ton to just like get the ball rolling and then, have that support moving forward. I mean, after level 1, you're kind of in that, like, I've done it and now I need to put into action, like that, like little bit of limbo land.
Before you took level 1 or even during or even after, what are things that you tried that did not work?
I was, I avoided quitting my job for a very long time. So that wasn't helping me out at all. If anything, that left me feeling more confused and stuck. And also just afraid because I wasn't allowing myself to really envision what could be. I was asking my parents for advice. I was looking for reassurance from multiple sources outside of just myself.
So your parents were, in essence, running your business for you, or at least that's what you were letting them do in your head, right?
Yeah, or like just reassuring my spouse, or even just like my, my colleagues like in the PT space. And obviously like they weren't going to have my vision because they weren't living it, or knew it was possible. So I think that was hard for me, was I was looking for everyone else's permission in a way before I made the leap.
What was it that finally helped you step into the driver's seat of giving yourself permission?
Honestly, it was something in level, when I took level 1, like um doing the activity of envisioning like what I wanted my ideal life to look like. It was something I'd never done before. It was go to college, go to grad school, like finish grad school, like climb the career ladder, something that I was doing. And I had such blinders on to that whole process that I'd really never paused to like think about like, when does that part end? Like when do I start living my life? And so that was a pivotal moment for me to do that exercise and like know that I really could do what I wanted to do. And that was something I never really thought about. I was just doing everything to please everyone else, or to move up in the career ladder. And this, it doesn't even make sense. Like it's not something that you can put your finger on. It was just something that you did or should do, or everyone else did it.
Wow. So you're pleasing everybody else, looking for permission from everyone else. And you felt that shift. So that's an exercise we go over in the level 1 program right at the beginning, of defining what you want in life. And it's so interesting, right? Because we all are kind of brought up in this world where there's these like check boxes for life, like, okay, you've done this and then do this. And then what happens when you've checked all the boxes and you're still not happy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how did it feel to get through that exercise and start to give yourself permission and, please only yourself rather than everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, it was something that was foreign to me, and maybe something I really hadn't allowed myself to do that before, but it was the most freeing thing ever. And that's something that felt really aligned with me. And I finally felt like I had the freedom and the space to start doing those things, and giving myself my own permission was way more powerful than, maybe feeling, upset with, other people's, thoughts, or them playing devil's advocate to my dreams. Like that felt really defeated or defeating. And so I felt free, and I felt like a weight had been lifted, that I could do those things.
That sounds delightful. Free and like a weight had been lifted. Oh my gosh, I love it. So, okay. So after the level 1 program, you're feeling free and liberated, and, like a weight had been lifted. And then you enrolled in the level 2 program. So what would you say? Let's talk about life first, and then we'll talk about your business.
Mm-hmm.
Since enrolling in level 2, what would you say are the like 1 to 2 biggest upgrades you've experienced in your life?
Yeah, I think my life has definitely become more enriched. Like I'm living, and like that has been the biggest shift for me. Is I don't work on Fridays. Like my husband travels for work during the week, and so now we have time together, because before it would just be like cram it in on Saturday and Sunday. And I would also feel like I had to do business stuff, or I was always doing career development on the weekends outside of things. So I no longer do that. I have this, like my life is literally planned first on my schedule. That's been the biggest shift from my mood, my relationships. Like I'm doing hobbies again that I like didn't do before because I was too busy. Like, and so to me, my life is seriously just so much more rich. I'm playing tennis. Like we just joined a country club. I'm learning how to golf. Like
I
We
love it.
walk our dogs twice a day. Like I have slow mornings. I don't rush out the door to see patients right away because that's how I want to live my life. And that has made the biggest difference. And even Brandon, my husband, has said like he loves our life and he can feel that shift
Wow.
too.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so much more than your career, you know? I mean, sure, like designing your ideal life. And now you've turned around and you're doing it. You know, that's so powerful. And I love that it's spilling over into your marriage, for your dogs, you know. I mean, I love that you
Our
joined the country
children,
club. Your
our
children. I
children,
mean,
our fur babies are living a better life.
well, I mean, isn't what is I always say like they deserve it, you know, like they
Hmm.
our job is to give fur babies or real babies the most amazing experience, you know, shepherd them, and what a wonderful thing. Um, okay, so all right, let's talk about your business. So what are the 1 to 2 biggest upgrades in your business since enrolling in the level 2 program?
I'm seeing all of the ideal clients that I want to see. And working in a corporate, position before this, I was always told, oh, you'll never see all athletes. Like you take where you can get it. And like I'm doing it now. And I'm getting these like soulmate level clients. So these teen athletes that I really like identify with and connect with. I'm getting parents that are really looking for what I have to offer and seeing it as being really valuable and specialized. And so I'm doing the thing and on that. And so that's really fulfilling me to be working with those types of clients. I'm also working less than I've ever worked before in my life. And when I do work, it doesn't feel like work. So that's
Oh,
been
how
incredible.
magical. Hmm.
And something that I didn't imagine possible was to make 6 figures in my first year. And I am well on track to doing that. And I remember in June last year during, powerful planning that pays, my like estimated, income or my have to make number was so low, and my reach number, I like laughed at myself when I wrote down my reach number, like, yeah, right, like that won't happen. And I'm beyond it. Like, and so that has been huge in my business, and I'm working less to get there.
If you could go back and tell that version of you, so Kayla's talking about a retreat that's part of the level 2 program where we do planning, like a strategic planning for 12 months. And it's all based out of your ideal life and what your revenue goals are and how much you actually want to work. So if you could go back to the version of you who was sitting in that retreat, who was kind of laughing at herself, right? Like, it's not possible. I love that. And here you've blown it out of the water. What would you say to her right now, knowing what you know now?
I think I've really embodied the idea that we attract the energy that we're putting out in the world, and really trusting that what's meant for us isn't going to miss us. And, allowing myself to like know and trust and believe that it was possible has made it possible and has attracted, opportunities my way, and allowed business growth that feels really aligned with the methods that I want to do to grow my business without feeling overwhelmed or overworked throughout that process.
What's meant for us is not going to miss us. You guys write that down. Take that. So beautiful. And it's so true. That's such a beautifully free way of bringing yourself through the world, of, removing the chains from I have to try so hard and force things and be a perfectionist and a people pleaser. It's all really coming together for you clearly. You're just kind of like, okay, I'm going to show up and do my best and just live my life ideally. And I love how you said we really kind of attract that which we are. So you're embodying that ideal life and certainly attracting ideal clients who also want to play and have fun. I mean, they're young athletes, and that's what they're supposed to be doing right now in life. That's just so beautiful. Okay, so next question. So in level 2, what would you say are your favorite elements of the program?
The group, like the
Group.
people in the group, they're insanely supportive. I haven't met any of them in person, but I feel so connected to them, and like there's a genuine love and support that goes both ways. And being in business as an entrepreneur can feel lonely, but I haven't felt alone like at all in this whole process.
So true. It's just because you're a solo entrepreneur, you know, or even if you have a team behind you, it doesn't mean that you're supposed to do it alone. We as humans aren't supposed to grow or do anything alone, you know. We're a social species. I agree. The group is such a well-connected, well-knit, supportive group. It's one of those things where I kind of pinch myself and I look around and I'm like, wow. I mean, there really is so much support. What about like, as far as the program goes, what's your favorite part of the learning in the program?
Yeah, I think a lot of the different modules and retreats that we've had have really given me a lot of more business know-how that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else, but it's in a way that feels really aligned with how I want to be spending my time within my business and how I want to grow my business and getting to choose. So it's not like this is the only way. It's like this is one way that works really well, and how you can like personally put it into place like how you feel comfortable. And so I haven't felt like I have to do all the things and I need to be doing it all at once. It's just like it's there if I want to do it, and I know I have the support and then the structure of how to do it as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, the goal of how we teach in all of the programs is that there's no one right way. There's no right way. There's a way and maybe a selection of ways, and you can draw from the different methodologies and ways to do things. And then what we really like to hone in on is how to make it work for you in a way that feels aligned with your values and doesn't get you overworking and doesn't get you back into people pleasing or perfectionism or whatever, comparison game, right? That's really lovely to hear. So, okay, knowing what you know in terms of what's really helpful for you and for people who want a life like you've created, who would you recommend taking a program like level 2?
I would really recommend this to anyone who's in that like the health entrepreneur space, who's really highly motivated and wants to up level in their business, and like it's like unlocking that next level to like live more. And I've experienced so much success and growth just in my first year without feeling burnt out or like I was hustling. And my energy levels have shifted and improved. And the thing that has helped me the most was really trusting that the answers are within me and I can lead the life that I desire and envision and love. And so I'd really recommend that to anyone who wants that in their life. I've experienced so much freedom and a huge mindset shift personally. And because I've done it from a place where I was so stuck before, and knowing that I can do it, I really want to share that freedom with other people. And so I hope that anyone listening who identifies with that, would want to join the program. I would highly recommend doing so.
Oh, that's amazing. So people who are looking to get to that next level, highly motivated and want to step into that next level of ideal life too, that there really is, the sky's the limit in life, you know, and how amazing it can become. And it sounds like you're so confident in yourself for having made that decision. And it's like every time you raise your level of confidence, you raise your level of performance too. By up leveling yourself. I love that. Okay, let's flip it on the other side. When you signed up for the program, or before you signed up for the program, what were there any little things that were tripping you up about signing up in particular?
Oh, for sure. Like I have my own money sandbags, and investing, like to me now I know it's an investment, but at the time it was like, oh, I'm spending this much money like up front. I haven't even opened my business yet. Like, what am I doing? And so that was that was like an internal battle at the beginning of how I was thinking about it. I was like only preparing in my mind a very small amount of income in my first 6 months. And
Right.
I thought I needed to be making money to spend money at that time. But honestly, once I changed that narrative of like knowing that I needed the support and guidance and accountability, and that this would ultimately be an investment in the success of my business, it was like a no-brainer after that. And that was the big shift that I made.
I love it, and it makes sense, right? We're really taught, so many of us, not all of us, are taught, don't spend money until you make money. And it's so different in business. It's just like, you go to school, you have to pay for the school before you walk away with the degree, like it's an investment and it returns on itself. Obviously, you've already demonstrated, you're like, first of all, I didn't think I was going to make that much money. I've like crushed my reach goal in revenue. It's like you need that investment in order to learn how to do that, right? How to actually crush it
For sure.
versus, kind of like scrape by and trial and error and try and figure it out on your own. Yeah.
And I had
That was
learned like
fun.
so much from level one, and I knew I needed to implement. I didn't just want to like piece it together on my own. Like I needed the accountability to continue putting it into work.
Yeah. Well, you're an athlete, right? It goes, athletes don't get Olympic on their own. They have a community, they have a team, they have coaches, they have support network, all of the pieces, and business, I love to think of business as an Olympic sport, at this level, and you can't do it alone. I mean, you can, but it's not as fun for sure. Definitely harder. It's a work harder, not smarter way to life. So, all right. What else would you, one parting word, anything else? We got to wrap it up here, but what would you say to anyone watching this about their careers, about their businesses, about their lives? What's one parting gift you can give them?
Yeah, I would say that really looking at like enrolling in a course like the level 2 course is something like just do it. Like it's an investment in yourself. It's an investment in your life, because you're going to be your life is going to be so much more enriched because your business is going to thrive by continuing to have the support and accountability with the group and with coaching, and with all the resources that come in with level 2. If you have like money sandbags like I did, the return on investment has been insane from a literal revenue standpoint, but also just personally living a more enriched and fulfilled life. And so don't sleep on yourself. Don't pass up on this opportunity. I think it's a huge gift that, like I think Jean said last week, of it's a big gift that you can give yourself, and you'll definitely thank yourself in the future for betting on you and up leveling in your life and your business.
Betting on you. I love it. When you bet on yourself, it always pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To everyone out there, when you bet on yourself from a place of deservingness for that amazing life and business, obviously, have you failed? Have you ever failed when you actually really invest in yourself? No, right? Nobody does. There's always a way. Well, thank you for sharing this, Kayla. This has been so inspirational. And what a beautiful glimpse as to what is possible.
Yeah. I am so in love with my life, and I'm happy to share all of that with you guys.
Hooray! Awesome.